Welcome to Contracting Conversations. My name is Jim Valley, and I am joined by my co-host, Scott Williams. Today, we're continuing our discussion with DAU's Contracting Center Director, Mr. Kevin Linden, who has been involved from the very beginning on developing with the services and for the state the new contracting certification construct for the DoD contracting workforce. Well, Kevin, can you give us a high-level view of the new contracting certification courses and the comprehensive exam?
Yes, I can. Thanks for having me again. I appreciate talking to both of you. Well, I'll talk about the courses first and then the exam. The four new courses, Con 1100, Contract Foundational Skills, Con 1200, Contract Pre-Award, 1300 is Contract Award, and 1400 is Contract Post-Award. So these four new courses are all set up the same way. They're all going to be about 4 weeks long, and you're going to have a mix of self-paced learning where you're going online and doing your training, reading an article, watching a video, and combine that with your virtual instructor-led training. And that will be designated days during the 4 weeks that you'll have to come in onto the computer, meet with your team and your instructor to talk about, to learn that day of whatever the topic is. Now, again, all these courses are set up the same way. So over the 4 weeks, you're not going to be sitting in a chair 8 hours a day doing training. That's not the intent of it at all. The intent is you're going to work anywhere. A course can be anywhere from 30 some hours to 50 some hours long over those 4 weeks. And that's when you will do your training. And that will allow you to continue to do your day-to-day job and take training at the same time. Now, has to be a conversation between you and your supervisor as to how much work you need to do for class that week, and then how much on the job work that you can do. And so that conversation is going to be had. This new construct, which is a complete 180 from the way that we deliver courses now, which are 2 or 3 weeks long of you sitting in the classroom all day, we try and model this new construct after what universities and colleges are doing with their master's and PhD programs to allow you, the adult learner, to kind of pick and choose when you take your training. If you want to take those self-paced assets over the weekend, you're free to do that. So we wanted to give that flexibility for the student in taking our classes. Other benefits is if you're in the course and say you're learning about synopsizing a contract or acquisition planning, and if you're learning about that in the morning and in the afternoon, you can go to your supervisor and say, this is what we're learning in acquisition planning. How do we do it here? Or your mentor or another coworker, and they can kind of explain in your office how you do it. And then you as the employee can bring that back into a discussion forum or an office hour or a live session with the instructor and other classmates and explain, how your office implements certain topics that you're learning in the class. So this is all trying to be more flexible to allow supervisor and student and their employee to understand the training that they're getting is flexible in nature. It's going to be initial readiness and allow the person to do a lot at the same time, get the job done, get their training, learn, meet other folks in the career field who are in their class. So that's the setup of the construct of the 4 courses. Now, you're not done your certification when you take these 4 courses with the certification exam. So the new certification exam is completely separate and distinct from the training. Now, while both, if you think about a triangle, while both the training and the exam point up and test on the competencies, there's not a direct one-to-one relationship between the exam and the training. They're both on the competencies. They are related, but it's not a one-to-one relationship. So when you take your training, it's not preparing you to take the exam. Now, the exam is going to be 3 hours long. It's going to be closed book, proctored exam. We have a third-party test provider that has test centers throughout the world where you can take the exam, or you also have the ability to take that exam remotely at your home or office if you have the technology requirements. So all of that is brand new with the exam. So you may ask, well, the exam isn't on the training, and the training doesn't train you on the exam because the training trains you for real world stuff, real world, on practice doing things. How can I prepare for the exam? One of the other things that we are offering at DAU is an optional exam prep course. This exam prep course, set up like the other courses over 4 weeks, will prepare you to take the exam. So if you think the CPA exam. You get a degree in accounting, you're not prepared to take the CPA exam. You will most likely take a CPA exam prep course. Same concept here. We have a certification exam prep course that will help you prepare for taking the certification exam.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kevin. We really appreciate your time spending with us today and getting this important information out to the contracting professionals. Be on the lookout for future sessions with Jim and myself, and especially a future session we're going to be having with Kevin, where he'll be discussing the new credentials that are out there for contracting. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our Contracting Conversations channel. Type any comments below to include your questions for future discussions, and help us spread the word of this channel to your peers and to those you supervise or lead. Let us help you answer their questions. We look forward to having future contracting conversations with you.